Hey guys, Brett Jordan here. Just want to talk quickly about management, right? And management specifically of a virtual assistant. It's not somebody you see every day. It's not somebody who knows what you're thinking. They're a person, and you have to communicate effectively to them what you need, when you need it, and expect, no, I guess just expect to be able to trust them. So let me give you a few tips that work very well for managing a VA. And of course, in our system, we train our VAs and recommend to clients that you have a weekly catch-up meeting on all tasks and and talk. So that's where you can use these management tips. All right, so anytime you have a project, it's critical. The first step number one is to make sure that the goal is clearly laid out of exactly what you want. And if you don't know exactly what you want, that's fine. You can tell them, hey, I don't know exactly where this is going to shape, so do it this direction and do as much as you can to here, and then we'll take a look and go back and give feedback. But it's critical that you know exactly the goal, and they know exactly the goal of what they need to have done by the time you need it done. All right. They also should know the due date. And of course, in our software, you can assign the due date in Asana, and they know exactly when a task needs to get done. So those things, very critical. Setting exactly the goal, a very clear goal of exactly what you need. That's first. That's management 101. That's the first thing. Um, the next thing that you can do when you're laying out a project is tell them, really what they can't do. So a lot of times in projects, there's restrictions or there's shortcuts or there's different softwares. So and you want to make sure they're using something. You don't have to tell them exactly every step of how they need to do it. That's not the job. If they have the goal, they can get there. Put it on them. Don't over stress yourself. But a good example might be, you may have a cloud system and you need them to do a document online rather than use Word, and it may just make it easier. So just as an example, so tell them, the kind of the parameters of the project so that they can get to the goal. And then lastly, of course, like I mentioned, the weekly meeting. It is critical that every week you do a half-hour check-in, probably less time the longer you're with a VA, and just go over your task list and say, where are we on this? Where are we on this project? And just let them talk. Just sit and let them tell you where it's at, and they'll ask you questions. I had it like this. Should it be more like that? And typically with that process, that communication, it allows you to give them feedback. They get a better idea of how you like things and what you like. And again, as the relationship continues to move on and develop, it becomes something that saves you just immeasurable amount of time on doing some of these small tasks and projects and admin work. So I really encourage you to take a minute, step back, look at your management process, and see if you're hitting all these things. And I think you'll find, again, it saves a lot of time. It makes things a lot easier in the long run as you grow your business.